Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining the My League Online MyLO Informational Caucus by the League of Women Voters of California. We're so happy you're here. There's over 100 of you joining us on this call today. So thank you again for being here. My name is Elizabeth Leslie, and I'm the Communications Manager for the League of Women Voters of California. And I'm the one that works along with Amaris LeBron to manage the My League Online project. So the goal of today's caucus is to just give you some information on how My League Online works. If you're looking for a website that performs well in search engines like Google, this is really going to be an excellent site for you to use. So just a few housekeeping notes here. I see attendees are coming on, and welcome. We're at 60 out of 100, so I know more folks will still be coming on. Right now, everybody is in the mute mode. So if you have questions or concerns, you can use the question bar or you can use the chat bar. You will also find that we have a My League Online frequently asked questions file for you to look at in the handouts section. Since this is our virtual convention for the League of Women Voters of the United States, we have opted not to bore you with a 40-page PowerPoint slideshow. Instead, we're actually going to show you live what the different sites look like, the different designs that we offer, the different menus that we offer, and actually how to get in the back end and work within the system so you can see if My League Online is the right fit for you. My League Online currently has over 200 different websites operating across the United States. Based here in California, we started, the predecessor to MyLO was called League Easy Web, LU for short. It lasted a very long time, but the technology became outdated, and so we moved to this new platform, which is in a software system called Drupal. It's an open software system that allows us to cost effectively offer a great system. Some of the exciting aspects of My League Online include the ability to have content auto-posted to your site. So for example, action alerts from the League of Women Voters of the United States are included in that. We also have a shared media library, which include images from both our organization as well as other leagues that have been approved and have the appropriate copyright permissions for your use. We also have a stellar customer service offerings, which is largely based on Amaris LeBron, who you will meet in a moment. But we offer several ways to get in touch with us if you need help. We have a peer Google group, which you can sign up for, so you can trade great ideas and information with each other there. We also offer monthly live webinars where you can bring your questions, or sometimes we select to do a particular topic. And you can also call or email us at any time. In addition, we have a technology team called Cheppers that offers us additional support for customizations, etc. We do also support all of the best practices for website design. And one of those strategic functions include a phrase we use called bite, snack, meal. We want to offer you that to think about as you go through what content is right for your website. You want to give people a little bit more, and then a little bit more. So with that in mind, that's how we came to design My League Online. It also has been designed with accessibility issues in mind, including all of our logos are specially formed and created so that online systems can actually read those images with alt text. We also offer Google Analytics. You can add it yourself, or we're happy to run reports for you so you can see how your outreach is going and the type of traffic you're getting on your site. Again, those are included in sort of our ongoing education about MyLO to help people wherever they're at. If you're a beginner, welcome. If you can copy and paste in Word, you can use our system. We also are user-based. So if there's suggestions on things you want, enhancements you want, we keep a running list of all of those because we want the website to work for you and your league. So with that, I would like to turn over the presentation to Amaris LeBron. She is works for the League of Women Voters of California and has been my colleague for many years. She's going to be taking you on a tour of some of the designs, some of the different websites so you can take a look. And then behind the scenes, she's going to show you some of the easy ways to edit and some of the extra bonuses that MyLO offers. In addition, you will see that I'm posting a poll here for you because we're trying to find out who is on the line and what you want to know. So we have a poll that I just sent out, a quick poll here. It says, I'm looking for a new website because my website is too old to be useful, my website is too hard to use, or my League of Women Voters does not have a website. So I see we're collecting responses. Wow, thank you so much for participating. This will really help us give you the right answers as Amaris takes you through on this exciting tour of My League Online. And while I'm waiting for a few more people to vote, we also have a giant documentation section for My League Online. Some people learn by watching videos. We have those. Some people learn by actually reading written documentation. We have that as well. And we're always adding more. Okay, so I have a few seconds left here in my poll. The numbers are moving around. We love voting here at the League, so it's very exciting to watch this. And here we are. Okay, so my poll is telling me that 61% of you say my website is too hard to use. Well, that's great news. You're in the right place. Again, if you can copy and paste in Word, you can work in our system. It's very intuitive. And the run, actually, it's a tie for second place. Either 21% of you, my website's too old to be useful, is tied with my league does not have a website. I think it's really imperative that your league has a website. People can join and donate and use your voter guides and come to your events. It's really hard to do that without a website. So with that, I'd like to introduce the amazing Amaris. Take it away, Amaris.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I was jumping through the questions and saw that at least one person was having some video trouble. If that includes you, you may be able to resolve this just with the recording afterwards. It may be an internet issue that you're currently having if you either are having trouble with audio or video, but we definitely are recording this session and it will be available to all attendees. So why don't we get started with touring a couple of the existing MyLO sites. I have one open here. The first design that we have here with the League of Women Voters of Hilton Head, Island Bluffton area is the purple and gold theme. You can see that the suffrage colors are used throughout. This was a theme that we created to complement LWV.org, the National League site. And then you can
Amaris, I'm going to pause you for just one moment. They say that they can only see the first screen. So I'm wondering if you can make another adjustment on your organizational section there and see if folks can see your screen.
Let's see if it may be that I need to restrict myself to just one tab. So if I travel to here, I'm hopeful that everybody is seeing the Cupertino Sunnyvale League MyLO site, and I'll give it a moment before I continue. I'm seeing
Nope, no. Not yet. They are not able to see it. I suggest potentially there is a video icon for you under your presenter name, and I'm wondering if you need to take that over.
Let me try making you the presenter and I'll quickly take it back because I do have control here. Okay, I am able to see your screen, and let's see if I take back control. How about there?
All right, victory. Thanks for letting us know, everyone. There we go. So you might need to go back just a couple of your statements so that everyone can now see your wonderful demonstration. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll start with this league site and we'll make our way back to the Hilton Head Area League. So this is one of 3 designs that we offer. Our red and blue theme here is the basic template theme that you would receive along with the left-hand side menu. The red and blue theme also features a big red donate button. both the purple and gold themes do have a donate button. We created this as part of the template to drive fundraising for every league, especially those on MyLO. So just a quick look at each design, then we can get into what each of these holds and what exactly you can do with MyLO. Another example is the Los Angeles League. This is just the purple and gold theme with the same side menu. It is the same type of layout as the red and blue, but we do have just a lot of different colors taking over. And going back to give you that look for the Hilton Head League, they are in South Carolina. So this is the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Area League with the same purple and gold theme, but they have opted for a menu that goes across the top. Now let's just go ahead and dive into just what they've used here. With the homepage, there are several different pieces that build up your league's homepage. The first being the slideshow. You can have as many different slideshow items as you need. Underneath the body text, which shows up here, you notice that we have a boxed in item here. These different pieces, the South Carolina mourns George Floyd and the results of the 2020 census impacts you. These are all different pieces, the first two being articles. They create the site and they have been promoted to the homepage here. So not only do we get to see these articles previewed here, but if I go back up to their menu, if I click onto articles, I see them here as well. So the ability to promote items to your front page gives you some more flexibility in showing off what is timely and what your league is proud of. And this promoting ability is available through all themes, hinting to the red and blue theme with the donate button. The purple and gold theme also features a join button. So these pages will automatically be connecting to your membership page and your donation page. And all you have to worry about is setting up the page with PayPal or using a built-in form through MyLO, which we can showcase in the tour of a demo site. I also want to show you what a state league can do. We have Texas on MyLO, and they have a very robust site. They have quite a lot of information, and so you can, just by looking at the voting and elections, get a good idea of just how much you can put on a page. There is no limit as to the information or the images that you use. We have the media library available, and so we encourage all webmasters, anytime that you're making use of images or PDFs, that you upload those to the media library. And you can more easily use those in the future, but especially that gives other webmasters the chance to use them for their own sites.
And Maurice, I want to just jump in here to address a couple quick questions and also to brag a little bit about Texas. Someone did ask, do you have to put all that stuff on your homepage? No, you don't. It's really entirely up to you how you want your homepage to look. I can tell you that in the case of Texas, they were a very good example to follow. In just the 2 weeks prior to their last primary in March, they received 500,000 website visitors. That is giant. It is very significant. And the other aspect that is important to know is that most people found their site, about 85%, by Googling it. So they went Texas voter guide, and the MyLO site for Texas came up. By the same token, somebody asked, can third-party forms be integrated into the website? Are you able to answer that?
Yes, that is probably a question best answered by jumping into a demo. You definitely can do that. And I'm going to make my way back to our homepage here so I can quickly jump to my league site. One of the common places to put a third-party form, and really it probably depends on the type of form that it is, but having it display right under the donate button in the sidebar will display that third-party form across your entire site. So before I open up the spot where I'm going to manage that within our MyLO site, I'm going to quickly find the 411 widget HTML code so that I have something to actually work with.
And
All
while
right,
you were
so
looking for that, Amaris, I'm also going to answer another question so that everyone can hear as well. Somebody asked about membership lists, and we do offer a one-time membership list upload. So for example, say you have your membership roster of, I don't know, 200 people, we will upload it for you, and you have the option of creating a password protected members only section at no additional cost. In addition, when you are showing off this third-party code, can you also speak to other third-party code, like embedding surveys or polls as well?
Yes. Really, when it comes to third-party code, they are kind of one and the same. As long as you are following the basic steps to paste it in the proper way, any third-party code, whatever it is going to be developing, whether it's a PayPal button, something as simple as that, or something as complex as a multi-page survey, you'll follow the same steps to plug that in. So wherever you want that third-party widget to display, that's where you would start a new draft. So because I want it to display in my sidebar, I'm starting a new draft of the home page. And there are quite a few things that are manageable through your home page. The first being your title that controls quite a few things. And actually, we'll jump down to the third-party code, and I'll hold back on the detailed tour of the homepage. So I'm just going to jump straight down to the sidebar section and open that up. Right now, with any text box, any text editor that comes up, it is by default set to WYSIWYG, and that stands for what you see is what you get. It's very comparable to Microsoft Word, and so every time that you make changes to the text using the icons, you're seeing it respond in real time, just as the Word program works. So I just wanted to demo that, but getting into the third-party code, you do need to set your text editor to full HTML because you're working with HTML code. So once you've swapped that over, now you can paste in copy over whatever third-party code you have, no matter how long or how short it may be. Before saving, you can always swap back to WYSIWYG to take a look, but you do need to set that up with full HTML. And once I publish and save, I have that working widget in the sidebar. And no matter where I travel to, I still have that displaying. Traveling back here to the home page, let's actually dive in to show you what you have control over and what are the tools for webmasters. Once you log in to MyLO, to travel to your site, you can click My Account and your local league membership will be listed down at the bottom. If you're starting on a page that is not your home page. So from your home page, the first kind of most important tool for webmasters is the Administer League Site menu. The first four options are your manager options, which allow you to, the first is to make changes to your menu. The second is allowing you to make changes to your different content items, what makes up your site. So these are the pages, the slideshow items, the events, every piece. The manage files allows you to access the media library and upload new files there. Manage members is the area where we were referring to. This is the list of MyLO users that have access to your league. And the main place where they would have access to is the members only page here. This is the private section of your site. And then everything below within the Administer League Site menu is for new creations. So anytime that you want to add a new item to your site, you'll start through the Administer League Site menu. With most pages throughout your site, you'll have these additional webmaster tabs above, right at the top of the page. And these, the first being view published is what you see or what the public would see if your site were in fact live. Right now, and as with any new customer coming to MyLO, your site starts out private, and that is a setting that you get to change once you're you have control over your site. With the new draft button, this is what allows you to make changes to your the page that you're looking at. The group is a tab that the functions are actually already available within the Administer League Site menu. So it's a tab that you can ignore. And the Moderate tab is really helpful when you have a team of webmasters. This shows you every revision. So anytime that this page was saved, there is a revision note, at least by the listing the author of that, and the author has an option to provide any revision notes or moderation notes that they want to on top of what the system collects. So this helps if you ever needed to revert to a previous version, especially to get rid of any last minute changes. So let's go back in to the new draft so that you can see what you manage through your site here. So I'm going right past, actually, let's start here at the title because the title not only controls your league's name here, but as Elizabeth was saying with the accessible images, we have accessible logos for every single MyLO league. The image is created by text. So the title that is added here in the field, that is what creates the league logo. So let's actually make a change so it helps to show the control there. So along with the title and the logo, the title of the homepage also controls your league's URL. Once we get on the front page of the homepage, you'll be able to see that. The homepage main body content is just the text box for what we see on the page. And then going past that, we have what are site-wide settings. So the first being the callouts. If I swap tabs, are you able to see both screens if I can swap between tabs? It'd be nice to be able to show you where the callouts are. Let me travel
I think
to the...
so, Maurice.
Okay.
Try it out. We're getting some yes, I believe so.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I will just be jumping back and forth so we can see where you would manage it and where it displays. So the homepage callout and the internal pages callout, these are pieces of the League EasyWeb layout that we brought forward with My League Online. And so that's where these suggestions of what information to put there come from. You can make use of your homepage callout or internal pages callout any way you want. It is the text that is going to display here. The homepage is unique, and then every other page within shares the same callout. So jumping back, so the callouts are required, but they're totally up to you what text to have there.
Maurice, can you remind
Yes.
people what a call out is? And also just a clarification question. Somebody asked, what does demo mean? Is it democratic? And no, it is demonstration. And so also, can you address user roles? Are you able to limit roles for the folks that can edit these pages?
With user roles, there are overall 3. The top level being the MyLO team, Elizabeth and I as admins, and then we have webmasters who need to have a membership to a league, and that's how they have the editing ability to be able to manage that league site. The very last level is the user. That's the user account, and they have access only to their league's private content. They cannot make any changes, and there aren't multiple levels of webmasters. You either have access to manage a site or you do not.
So just to clarify, Maurice, are you able to limit the permissions to have someone only edit one page? Or if they are a webmaster, they're able to edit all pages of the local league website or state league website?
Right, if the webmaster belongs to that league, they have access to the full league's website.
Don't forget to explain what a call out is.
Yes, and so the call outs are, you can make them the phrases or the value statement from National League is what we commonly see, but it's any quick phrase or quick info that you think is important to share about your league. And that's usually why the areas served are they make the most sense to let people know if their neighborhood is in the list, or whatever type of listing that you have by county or what have you. But a call out is just any quick information that you want to provide, and it will appear here at the top. So it's going to be right in people's faces, kind of the first thing they'll probably see going down the page. And please do follow up with that question if you needed some more information. Going down to the lead contact information, we display that info here on the front side of the home page. The footer displays across the entire site. So we see that remains the same. You're able to provide a contact name. This will remain private. And as far as a location, anytime that you add an address here, the mobile users will be able to click on a location link. So anytime you make a change, we have an option here to refresh that.
And I'm going to jump in and just remind people that that is so important. We have over 60% of people on MyLO are finding the information via mobile device. So being able to access your event address, your league address, those things are really important to be able to do directly from your phone.
Yeah, very true. And the same applies for the phone number as well. So if you provide a phone number or any of these here, the phone, fax, or email, it, when they do display here for mobile users, they'll be able to click that link. Below that, within the lead contact info, we have social links for footers, or for the footer. And right now, because I only have Facebook and Twitter added, on my homepage, I only have those two buttons showing. If you have the links for all four, then all four show. These were added pretty recently to add another spot. Most leagues make use of the sidebar to add in their social media, but now this is a built-in spot, and so many leagues make use of both.
And I'm going to jump in again as the best practice for communications and website design ideas, and to remind you that while it's fantastic to have those links at the bottom, it's fantastic to have the information in the sidebar. It is good and okay to change that around. So maybe sometimes you're actually putting an article on the homepage or in one of your slideshow images that say, don't forget to like us on our new Instagram page, etc. So I want to remind you that although we are offering these as a best practice, meaning if most people want to find your Facebook, they're going to scroll to the bottom of your website and look for those icons. That's just a normal thing people do now, but that's not to say that's the only way. So that is another great thing about MyLO, is that you have the flexibility to do things in different ways.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and we can create a slideshow. I think that'll be a really great way to show how to link to your social media, or create a link on a slideshow item. So that'll be great.
And while we're right here talking about the sidebar, there's a couple of related questions. Someone asked, thanks Faye, asked, is the social media in the footer limited to only those four? Can you add our other or change out one of them? Yes, you can. If you don't see one there that's listed, just ask us and we'll help you with that. Also, somebody asked, do you support the Facebook news feed? And yes, we do. And I think you'll be able to show that, won't you, Maurice?
Yes, with Facebook and Twitter and possibly Instagram, they make things really easy to find, or to generate that news feed essentially. If you look through the developers documentation for Facebook or Twitter, then they'll give you the resource to generate that. All you have to come with is the Facebook address. So let's actually developer Facebook timeline. If you search developer, the social media, and timeline or post, whatever it is that you want to show in the end, if it's just one event, Google those terms all together. I'm just going to work with the generic Facebook URL here, but essentially we're given this program. It allows us to generate this automatically, and all we have to do is click Get Code at the bottom. With any third-party code, the biggest step will be pasting it in, copying it and pasting it into the proper spot. So there are 2 steps here. Most of the time, third-party code is only provided in one big chunk, and it's easy enough to plug it right in. This one, it's the same idea, just 2 times. So to make this visible throughout the site, just as we did with the widget here, I am going to just plug it in right at the end of it. With third-party embed code, we don't have to worry about them coming up on the same line. When one widget ends, the next one will start on a new line. And I am pasting in that second chunk. With this one, I am not going to preview it in WYSIWYG. I'm just going to push that straight on through so that I can preview it on the front. And so there you go. With the Facebook developer page, you can edit the width and height, but that will, like, say if you come back to your home page and you need to tweak that, just go back to the Facebook developer page or the Twitter developer page, make the changes within the dimensions, and then you'll have to replace, going back into the new draft and replace the code with the new generated one that you have. And let's jump back into the home page if there aren't any at least related questions, and we can take a look at the rest of the site-wide settings. So we looked at the callouts. Let me open up a second tab again. We have the callouts at the top. The contact information is displayed at the bottom, along with the social links. And the sidebar is here throughout the site, everything under the donate button. Now we are on to the subscriptions. These subscriptions will control the content that is automatically generated onto your MyLO site. So this demo county site is subscribed to quite a few different leagues here. And the first being, let's check out the action alerts page. With action alerts, they do behave a little, well, actually, it looks like I took that out of the menu. To easily get to that, I just have to manage my menu. It is hidden to the public, but I can easily jump to that. So
I'm glad you're showing off the menu, because that is a great reminder that you can have in the menu what you want. and you can reorder them in the way that you want. So for example, during election season, maybe you want one of your menu items that says voter guide to be up high, or league recommendations to be up higher. And maybe, you move that once the election's over and it becomes, our annual meeting, so these are meant to be moved around. So we encourage you to keep it fresh. So I think Amaris is now showing how you can manipulate that menu.
Yeah, thank you for that. That is a really great point. I think that is a really easy way to keep your site fresh. Simply rearranging it and showing off what your league is doing that's most important, or most timely for your folks in your community. So yeah, you can easily rearrange your menu, either moving them up or down, or giving them sub-menu items, and all it takes is saving it at the end. But you can rearrange the entire menu really easily. So going back to the action alerts, we see here that the National League and the California League were subscribed to, and we have the latest subscribed action alert from California here. When I click through to that, I see it on the California League site because they are the actual owners of it. As the demo county, I'm going to go back. As the demo county league, I am privileged enough to borrow it. And so that's where we get that free content, and I didn't have to lift a finger. With action alerts, it's worth mentioning that the time range is what controls the display of these. So because this action alert is active until July 1, that's why we're seeing it here. Every other expired alert is not going to show up in the list. All right, so let's also check out the articles. This is another page where the demo county, I don't have any articles myself, but California is awesome, and I get to use all of their articles here. With the calendar, I believe that we have a couple more here, and this is where, with the events, we encourage leagues to subscribe to their nearby leagues, especially those in the neighborhood or within the county, to show each other off. The calendar shows up as if it were all one, so there's no differentiation between these are my events and these are your events, or the subscribed events. So that makes it look a lot nicer too, especially when you have a community of different leagues. And then with positions, the same idea, just to round that out and check out what that looks like. Again, my own demo county league doesn't have any content, but I am not left with an empty page. And to add in subscriptions, all it takes is typing in a portion of the name of the league, and either choosing it from the list or type enough to narrow it down and select it, or hit enter. And you can remove those just as easily. With the advanced settings, we'll only go over a couple of them here. The first being the theme. This is where you can change to the purple and gold theme from the initial red and blue theme that your site will be set to. And then one of my favorite parts is the Google Analytics tracking code field. The field here is connected to your Google Analytics account by way of the code that you would generate. We have documentation that does align with that. So setting this up can be really easy. And that's how you'll be able to collect site traffic for your MyLO site.
And understanding that traffic is really essential to your outreach work as an organization. For us, when we're applying for grants, et cetera, people want to know how many folks did you reach. So by having this Google Analytics information available to you, you're able to say, I reached, 100,000 women between the ages of 20 to 30 in this specific region. And it's going to give you that type of data. It's also going to tell you how they found you. Although I think I mentioned earlier several times that, we're 85% Google. People are dropping terms in Google and coming to the MyLO sites. They perform very well in Google search. So even if your site is new, it's going to come up as the first, second, or third item when someone drops it into search. So that's going to tell you if you did a special outreach campaign and you boosted a Facebook post and paid some money for it in an ad, did that translate into more web traffic looking at your voter guide? So it'll give you exactly how many people visited which pages for how much time, which again is super relevant if you're needing metrics to report back or get money. It's also great information to find out if what you're doing is working, whether it's a campaign or whether you're trying to reach the voters in your neighborhood. Are you doing a good job? Are you doing what you need to do? So this data is exceptionally helpful for people, and there's lots of different classes on how to read and analyze Google Analytics. In fact, LWVUS is offering them coming up here. They're offering another one in the next few months. So this analytics will become increasingly important to all of you webmasters.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So we've toured the homepage. I'm just finishing this off with a save, only because I added the word just to demo the logo, the title here, and the footer. But I guess the last part here that we didn't get to go over was the documentation. The documentation is found on the homepage, and to easily travel to that page is clicking on My League Online in our footer. But we have our documentation here, and that offers some quick jump to links from the menu, or you can scroll down the page. The beginning, the first few links are what we showcase as the kind of intro documentation pieces, the best way to get you introduced to your new MyLO site, along with videos and the Google group links here under additional help. But we have the full list of our documentation pieces, and these range from several different topics of different tasks that you would have to get done or would like to do within your MyLO site. And you can search by keyword. And we definitely take recommendations on any documentation that you don't see here, or if you ever had any additions to something, we gladly accept those either in our Google group or just reaching out to us directly. With that, are there any questions, Elizabeth, that we might not have touched on yet?
Sure, I'm going to throw a few at you, and some of them might be repeats to some of you, but I'm not sure if everyone can see all of the questions, so I'm going to highlight a few that I think are worth it. One of them is someone, Mary asked, so what is snack bite meal? Actually, it's a little out of order. It is bite snack meal, and this is the way in which we remind people to present information to the public. You know, in league land, we love lots of information and big documents and meaty stuff. But if we're ever going to engage anybody besides ourselves, we have to make our information digestible and accessible by other people. So that means making things that are complicated less complicated, right? So if you want to bring someone, if someone comes to your website, you say interested in voter registration. Oh, okay, that's a little piece of information. It's just a byte. They click it because they're like, it's a byte, I can handle that. And now you've given them a snack. Now it says, if you'd like to register to vote, here you go do it here. And then the next one is, do you want to immerse yourself in voter education? Go here. So that's the concept of bite snack meal. Also, other questions, yes, this meeting is recorded. It takes GoToWebinar sort of a few hours to process the recording, but you will have it emailed automatically to you, and it'll also be available on our website. And thank you to those that would like to show that. Also, this is a great question from Susan. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you two questions, Amaris, and then if there's more time, we'll continue forth. But one of them is, Susan asked, can you show how to add a photo? I think that's particularly important. And while you're doing that, Amaris, can you also show how to add a PDF? Although storage is unlimited on MyLO, with the exception of we don't host video, that was one of the questions here, that would just drag down the system. So the better alternative there is to put your video on YouTube, and then you can embed it in MyLO. MyLO can handle that. So again, Amaris, if you could just double back and show them how to add a photo and how to add a file like a PDF, for example, although we do discourage the use of PDFs in many regards because they are not searchable in the same way as regular content, and they are certainly not very accessible or readable on a mobile device. So that is why we like to encourage you to step away from those, but sometimes they're unavoidable. So with that, Amaris, you can take it away to show those, how to do those two tasks.
Awesome, thank you. There are a couple of ways that you can get started with this to be able to upload a file. The first would be to go through to your file manager. This route will dump the image right into the media library. So if you don't know where this image or where this PDF should display, going through manage files is the best way because you're adding it into our library, but you don't have to yet commit to say it's gonna show up here because the alternative is to if I want it to show an image here at the bottom of my homepage, in the body of the homepage, I'd start a new draft and go through the body. So let's go with manage files. I'm sorry, I'll open that in the same window. For the image upload, I will use the manage files route, and then the PDF upload will go through a page. So clicking through to add a new file, I am presented with my file explorer right away. Let's add an image that I was working with not too long ago. You can go straight to next, and that will upload the image to our media library. We want to leave that public, and we're immediately taken to a thumbnail of our image. You can edit the name or leave that as is. It's taking the file name. And here, the checkbox, this is what Elizabeth was referring to earlier with every image or every file that is uploaded to the media library, the individual uploading the document has to confirm that they have permission to use this on their website. So if the original uploader is expressing permission, then that means anybody else who would use that would be extended that same permission. With the alt text, this is an accessible part of your image, and so just give a good description of what is happening in the image. With the title text, this is optional. It will show up hovered over the image. And the file description, related issues, and media tags are all private. They're only going to be visible to the webmaster, and they are most helpful when you're trying to search for this again. So if there are terms, let's say, I have any signs that, let's say that you didn't add anywhere else, you can add these here, especially buzzwords that you know you are searching for regularly. The same thing goes with related issues and media tags. The same thing, being able to use these as search criteria make it easier to narrow down your image. And save. And now that the image is in the media library, I can travel to any part within my site to get that image on the page. So I've traveled back to my home page, and let's go ahead and add a PDF to my issues page. I'm going to start a new draft. And then I need to make my way to the body. The body text box has a toolbar, and in every one, the media browser is what you'll want to bring up. Again, by default, we are on the upload screen. So to do that, it's going to be the same kind of questions asked. So following through to next, we have the destination question again. We are leaving that as a public file. And I need to express my permission here because there is no image to be viewed. We don't have the alt text question or the title question. Those are already going to be part of the PDF itself. So the same rules apply. I am just going to add a media tag and save. This next window has popped up because I am within a page. You can click to submit either full content or link. You're going to get the same result. And I need to separate this. This has happened because when I came into the body, I didn't click my cursor and went straight to the media browser. But I can easily fix this. I first need to separate those and then set the formatting back. So select the same heading that is applied, and that brings it back down. And with any link that you create, you can always type into that anywhere within the link and make it look a little bit prettier.
And I'm going to jump in here to say, Amrish, that we have about 1 minute left. And of course, we got more questions. People want to see the calendar. And yes, you can add an anchor for anchor text to a page. But if you're able to quickly show the calendar in passing here, we're going to have to start to wrap up here.
Yeah. So let's check this out. I have so far one calendar event here along with all the subscribed ones. And if you want to create new ones, you use the Administer League site menu and add event. Just to give you an idea of what that looks like. The setup is kind of similar to the contact information. We have the location here that creates that that GPS link. You can provide the starting and ending date if you're so inclined. And with each individual event that you create, that is what's creating your calendar. So each piece here is my calendar. Rather than going to the calendar page, I don't have the tabs up here to edit, but when I go through to each individual event, then I do, and I can make changes there. But that's what that looks like, and that's another page where the Administer League site menu is found. On the calendar here, the positions, and every single one that you can subscribe to other leagues' content with.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Amaris, for taking us on that fantastic tour of My League Online. I've dropped into chat a whole bunch of different links. One of them is to my.lwv.org, where you can view not only the documentation, but you can also view all of the local league sites, so you can see different real-life examples of how leagues are using their websites, what themes and designs they're using. In addition, if you go to lwvc.org/MyLO, you'll find our pricing information. It's a $200 setup fee one time, and then a $400 yearly fee. That includes unlimited customer service, the monthly webinars we stated, all security and related upgrades, as well as any additional support you need. If you're feeling challenged, like there's no way I can do this by myself, we do have an additional option, which is content migration, where you can pay a certain amount for a certain number of pages to be migrated for you. Again, that is all on the webpage, lwvc.org/MyLO, that's in the chat. One final question, are there tutorials to help build the page for beginners? Yes, there is. There's in fact a MyLO for Beginners checklist. So we have something for everyone. If you're an advanced user, we have something for you. If you're a beginning user, we have something for you. So again, we encourage you to contact us with any questions. You will get this recording in the in your email. And if you actually, the recording won't come to you via email till tomorrow. You can also contact us. The best email for us is mylo@lwvc.org, and Amaris or I will get back to you. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And it's our, the 100th anniversary of the league, and we're so happy to be a part of this milestone convention. Again, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Amaris.
Thank you all.